try and understand the different types of landforms, okay? Major landforms that are there on the surface of the earth. So before we begin this class, let us enjoy a 2D animation together, shall we?
Major landforms. The Earth is made up of land and water. Around 29% of the Earth's surface is covered by land and about 71% by water. The major landforms of the Earth are mountains, plateaus, plains, deserts, and rivers. A mountain is a landform which rises more than 900 meters above the mean sea level. The highest point of a mountain is called a peak or a summit. Several mountains may join together to form a chain or a range. A plateau or tableland is a highland with a flat top. It rises abruptly from the surrounding land. Plateaus have grasslands on which cattle and sheep are reared. A plain is a flat and low-lying land surface. They are also called lowlands. They can be level or slightly hilly. The slope of the land is gentle. Plains have fertile soil which is suitable for agriculture. Deserts are land areas that receive very little rainfall. These areas have a dry climate. Deserts have hills of sand called sand dunes and little vegetation due to less rainfall. Rivers are natural channels that carry rainwater or water from melted ice and snow from mountains to plains, lakes, and seas. These channels start as streams and join together to form a river. From the place of origin to its mouth, a river passes through three stages. The upper course, which begins at the mountains, the middle course of the river, which begins when it leaves the mountains and enters the plain, and the lower course when the river joins a bigger water body such as the sea.
I hope you enjoyed the animation as much as I did, okay? It was very easy and it was very simplified. I hope you have understood what are the major landforms which are there on the surface of the earth, okay? Now let's get set, and here in the first part of your chapter we see different types of landforms which you are supposed to fill up, and there are names of states, okay, which has been given on the left. So the first one is already done for you. It is written here, number 1, Bihar, okay. Bihar is the state which represents, or it brings to our mind the physical feature of a plain, okay. So the second one, Maharashtra, okay, and the landform is plateau, okay. You fill this up. The third one, Rajasthan, okay, and it brings us to our mind, okay, it's a desert, all right. The fourth one, Jammu and Kashmir, and it brings to our mind, okay, the landform of mountains, okay. Likewise, number 5th, okay, Lakshadweep, it's an island, okay, and the last one, number 6, Uttar Pradesh, okay, and it brings us to our mind the landform which is plain, okay. Now, my dear children, you have to know that the Earth's surface is covered with water, which comprises about 71%, okay, and just 29% comprises of land. Alright, so now let's go to your chapter, that is on page 25, chapter number 4, okay, major landforms. As I read, you also open your book and read along with me, and I will try to explain to you, okay, after each paragraph. So, as I told you, the earth is made up of land and water, okay. 29% of the earth's surface is covered by land, and about 71% of the earth's surface is water, okay. The surface of the earth is not the same everywhere. Some parts are flat and level while others are raised, okay, or in other words we can say elevated, okay. Landforms are natural features of the earth's surface, and the major landforms, as we saw in the animation, okay, of the earth are mountains, plateaus, plains, deserts and rivers. Okay, shall we say that together again? Yes, let's say together. Ready, set, go. Mountains, plateaus, plains, deserts and rivers. Okay, these are the 5 major landforms. Very good. Now let's go and try to understand what are mountains like. Okay, a mountain is a landform which rises more than 900 meters. How many meters above the sea level? 900 meters. Okay, so that we refer to as mountain. When it is 900 meters above the sea level, we refer to that landform as a mountain. Very good. Now, mountains cover about 20% of the total area of the earth. Okay, try to keep that in mind. And the mountains differ in height, okay, and shape. Alright, they have very steep slopes. The highest point of a mountain is called the peak or the summit. Okay, if I were to draw it to you, okay, let me try to draw this for you. Okay, for example, if you imagine this is a mountain, okay, this area, the highest point is called the peak or the summit. Alright, that is a place which we refer to as a peak or the summit. Okay, so mountain peaks are mostly conical in shape. This shape is called conical. Okay, which is the highest peak in the world? You are supposed to find this out for yourself. Okay, the height and the shape of mountains depend on their age, how long they have been there. Okay, so the Himalayas and the Alps are young mountains. They are high and they have conical peaks. The Aravallis and the Appalachians are very, very old mountains. So if you were asked name two young mountains and two old mountains, okay, you can have these answers, give these answers, okay. Therefore, they have low and have rounded peaks, okay. Now let's move on to the next page, that is page number 26. Okay, open your book to page 26. Several mountains may join together to form a chain or a range. Okay, that is just a single chain means, several mountains linked together this way. Okay, so we refer to them as a chain of mountain or a range of mountain. Okay, mountains often have a series of parallel ranges which may extend for hundreds of kilometers. Okay, so we can find sometimes these mountains, okay, this chain of mountains or this range of mountains may extend for several hundreds of kilometers. Okay, the Andes in the South America and the Rockies in the North America are two examples of chain of mountains or ranges of mountains. Okay, very good. Now next point, importance. What is the importance? Mountains have a thin soil cover and very steep slope. So it is difficult to grow crops here. It's very difficult to grow any type of crops in this mountain ranges. Okay, the mountainous regions are very thinly populated. That means very number of people living over there. Okay, very less. All right. This is due to an unsuitable climate, shortage of flat land, and difficulty in transportation. It's very difficult to make roads on these mountains, right? So it is very thinly populated, and because of that, the unsuitable climate also and difficulty in transportation, we find very less population there. Despite this, mountains are very useful. Okay, what are the usefulness or how do the mountains help us? First point, they act as a barrier against cold and hot winds. Okay, sometimes they have very cold and chilly wind. Okay, and sometimes very hot winds. Okay, now these mountains, they act as a barrier, okay, or a barrier. All right. Now rivers which originates from mountains, they also provide water for irrigation. We know of several rivers which arises or which starts or originates from the mountains. Okay. Now these rivers, okay, are very useful for the purpose of providing water for the purpose of irrigation. Okay. Next, the slopes of the mountains have very rich pasture lands and valuable forests. And fourthly, some mountains are very rich in minerals. Okay, these are the usefulness of mountains. Okay, so pasture land means what? Okay, the area where animals graze. Okay, and valuable forest. Okay, there are many different types of trees. Okay, which grows there. These are natural resources. Okay, my dear children. Now let's go on to the next type of landform, that is plateau. Okay, what is plateau? First of all, let's try to understand what is plateau. Plateau is a tableland. Okay, in other words, we can refer to it as a tableland. What's a tableland? It's flat. Okay, which is a high land with a flat top. Okay, so as you know, table means flat, right? So it's a tableland with a flat top. Okay, and it rises abruptly from the surrounding land. So it has steep slopes and many rivers and streams flow through the plateaus. Okay, some plateaus are very large and extend over hundreds of kilometers. Okay, even the plateaus like the mountains, they also extend for several hundreds of kilometers. Okay, in India, for example, the Deccan Plateau, okay, is a very nice example, and the Tibetan Plateau is the largest and the highest plateau in the world, is the Tibetan Plateau. Very good. Make a note of it. Okay. Now it is surrounded by mountain ranges on all sides. Other examples in other continent. Okay. Like in the North America, the Colorado Plateau, okay, is a very good example, and the Bolivian Plateau in South America. Okay, these are examples of plateau in other continents. Okay. Now, these plateaus are in dry regions and on the leeward side of the mountains. And this plateau, because of the high altitude, okay, how do we measure the altitude? Everything is based on the sea level, how far it is from the sea level, okay. So due to the high altitude, the climate is cold and the growing season is short, okay. Growing season means the duration that we can grow crops in this plateau are short, okay. And these plateaus, they have very deep canyons on their surface. In the Colorado Plateau, they have a very nice canyon which is known as the Grand Canyon. Okay, it's an example of a which have deep canyons. Okay, so if you happen to visit, sometimes if you happen to visit the other continents of the world, like the America, okay, you can go and see, okay, you can go and see the Grand Canyon. It's something that you must go. If you go there, you must go and see the Grand Canyon. It's beautiful, okay. Now, what's the importance of this? These plateaus have grasslands, okay, on which the cattle and the sheep are reared. Over there, people rear a lot of animals, okay, like sheep. So these plateaus have grasslands which are very good for rearing the cattle. Okay, and secondly, these plateaus are very rich in mineral deposits. Okay, now let's move on to the next type of landform, the third type of landform, that is a plains. Okay, what is a plain? First, let's try to understand. It is a flat and a low-lying land surface which are also called lowlands. Okay, plains are also referred to as, yes again, lowlands. Very good. Okay, they can be level or slightly hilly, and the slope of the land is very gentle, not steep. Okay, it's very gentle. Now the plains may be formed by deposition of sand and silt by rivers, as in the case of the northern plains in India. Okay, the rivers carry sand and silt with them. Now, when the rivers slow down, these materials are deposited on their banks. Okay, that means there are some places where the rivers flow very fast, and there are some places where the rivers slow down. Okay, so in those areas where the rivers slow down, okay, in their movement, the water movement. Okay, I'm talking about the water movement in the river. These materials gets deposited on the banks. Okay. Now, these plains are formed by the deposits, okay, deposits of sand and silt which are carried by the rivers, okay. So, some plains are in the interior of the continents, while some are near the sea coast, and plains are mostly thickly populated than mountains and plateaus. So, the first two type of landforms, mountains and plateaus, compared to them, in the plain areas, okay, we have thick population, okay. Why? Question may come, why? Yeah, you think about it. Okay, it may be because it's easy to build road, okay, communication is easy, transportation is easy. So naturally, in the plains, we find a large population, okay. So what is the importance of this? The plains have very fertile soil which is suitable for agriculture, okay. So, if you are asked whether it's a mountain, and the second one plateau, and the third one plain, okay, of these three, which is favorable for agriculture? Yes, your answer will be the plains, okay. Now, most ancient civilization came up on the banks of the rivers, which are on the plains, okay. And most big cities and towns, okay, they are also located in the plains, okay. You will observe this. And it is very easy to construct road, okay, railways, aerodromes, that is where aeroplanes land, and canals in the plain because of the surface. Okay, it's easy to construct. Okay. Now the fourth type of landform, that is the deserts. Okay, as you know, in the desert if you go, you will find lots and lots of sand, right? Okay, and one question I want to ask you, okay, where in the desert do we find water? Very good. Okay, a place which is called an oasis, right? And we find some population in and around the oasis, right? Very good. Now, deserts are land areas that receive very little rainfall, okay, and so it is dry. The climate is very dry, okay, in the desert. They have very hot days and cold nights. Usually the days are very hot and the nights are very cold in the desert, okay. And frequently they have dust storm, okay. We don't have dust storm here, right? Only sometimes when there's a very strong wind blowing and the dust from the surface of the road, okay, that comes. That's not a dust storm, okay. But in the desert, the dust storm, okay, they are very, very severe, okay. Lots of sand goes up in the atmosphere, okay. And the hills of the sand are called sand dunes, okay, and little vegetation due to less rainfall. As there is very little rainfall, okay, there is also very little vegetation that can be grown in the desert. Now, most deserts are located on the western side of the continents and on the leeward side of the mountains. Some examples of deserts in India are the Sahara Desert, okay, the Kalahari Desert in Africa, okay, and the Great Sandy Desert and the Great Victoria Desert. Where are they? They are in Australia, the continent called Australia. Okay, Australia is the smallest continent of the world. Alright, the Thar Desert and the Arabian Desert in Asia, the Atacama Desert and the Patagonian Desert in South America. Okay, these are names of some deserts which have been given here. Okay, for you, you try to remember name of few deserts which have been given, okay, as examples over here. Now the last type of landforms, that is rivers, they are natural channels that carry rainwater or water which are from melted ice and snow from mountains to plains, lakes and seas. Okay, these channels start as streams, okay, small stream. They start a small stream, then they join together and form a river, okay. From the place of the origin to its mouth, a river passes through three different stages. What are these three different stages? The upper or the young course is the first stage. Okay, most rivers, they originate in the mountains. The speed of the river in the where it originates is very high. Okay, then the river cuts a deep and narrow channel in the mountains, and some features of the upper courses are canyons, waterfalls and rapids. Okay. The next course is a middle or the mature course. Okay. Here, the middle course of the river begins. Where does it begin? When it leaves the mountain. Okay. And it enters the plain. Okay. And here, the valley widens. Okay. Becomes wider. Okay. At this stage, the speed of the water decreases. Okay. In the young course, the speed of the water is very, very high. Whereas when it comes to the middle or the mature course, the speed of the water is slowed down. Okay, and then the river develops loops which are called meanders. Okay, River Ganga, for example, has a meandering course between Allahabad and Varanasi. Okay, the last one, the lower or the old course, in its lower course, the river joins a bigger water body such as the sea. So we know that all the rivers go and fall into the sea. So that is the last or the lower or the old course. In this course, what happens is the speed of the river is very slow. Okay, the river deposits the silt it carries near the mouth, forming a triangular shaped land called delta. Okay, what is it again? Delta. Okay, it's a triangular shaped land which is called delta. Okay, what happens is the river deposits the silt that it carries over in that place. Okay, near the mouth. The largest delta in the world is formed by the Ganga and the Brahmaputra rivers. Okay, before they join the Bay of Bengal. Now, for you, what is your assignment? You want to find out what is the name of the delta which is formed by the Ganga and the Brahmaputra river. Okay, before it goes and falls into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so my dear children, those are the 5 different landforms. Now, for your assignment, I would like you to try and do this, tick the correct answers on page 29, 30, okay, and I will send you worksheets. Please check out on the Miley app the questions, okay, the answers to the questions which are given on page 30, okay, that will also be given in the Miley app. So download from the Miley app, okay. Till next class, take care, stay home and stay safe. Bye.
Stay home, stay safe.
Do it for self.
Do it for your family. Do it for India.
Let's break the chain of COVID-19.
हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद। हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद।
हम होंगे कामयाब। जय हिंद।